friends, welcome to another episode of Seeing Sentai. I'm Mars Girl. Today we're looking at Denshi Sentai Denjiman episodes 36 through 42. Really, only a few episodes are at all really noteworthy. A whole bunch of monsters to list off, of course. One really interesting plot point happened, and as we continue on to head toward the end of the series, I'm sure it'll get more and more exciting. But right now, this will probably be short, but I will give you some names of a few monsters that showed up in these last 7 episodes. We saw monsters such as Noranekolar, Kamakilar, Akumalar, Pikarilar, Jishinlar, and Ninpolar. Now you'll notice I only listed off 6 monster names, and it's true, we only really truthfully saw 6 monsters, although we did see a 7th, brand new reoccurring bad guy show up by the name of Demon King Banriki. Banriki is really friggin' cool. He shows up out of nowhere, from outer space. He's technically not part of the Vader clan, but he does go and approach the Vader clan, and the Vader clan, I guess, knows who he is, because he's been just this really evil, demonic kind of warrior type that just comes in, and he's just nothing but destruction. Absolute chaos and destruction everywhere he goes. Just this big, great, well-known warrior. And the queen of the Vader clan, Queen Hedrion, really is hesitant about him because she knows that wherever he goes, he brings destruction right along with him. But he comes up to her and he makes this suggestion of, you know, I understand you have a problem with these Denjiman. I could really help you with them. And she's hesitant about it, and so too is everybody else. Like, General Hedra is, like, super pissed that this guy showed up and is trying to take away all their glory and everything, and he frequently tries to fight him. But the queen lets him do his business, and actually he's the first guy who looks like really a legitimate threat against the Denjiman, almost for the entirety of this series. He's really strong. Like, even Denshi Red tries to give him the Denshi Punch with this kind of magnetic electronic fists, and that typically will punch through walls, but it doesn't even faze Banriki at all. He's so super strong. He gives them a run for their money. There's tons of fighting in this particular episode, in episode 37, and in fact he even has the power to control himself, whether he's normal sized or he's giant sized. So he turns himself giant sized, which of course forces the Denjiman into calling out Daidenjin, their giant mech, to fight with him, and they fight and quarrel for quite some time, and they even bring out the Denshi sword, and the Denshi sword typically will cut monsters in half and then make them explode, but not this guy. Banriki catches the sword in midair and is holding it there for like this really long extended time. There's this big old power struggle, and then finally he's like, nah, you know what? That's enough for today, and he lets go of it, and he shrinks back down to normal size, and he's like, alright, we'll fight again later, and that's kind of where the episode ends, and the Denjiman are just kind of left stunned, like, oh my god, we didn't beat this guy. And I'm sitting here thinking too, like, wow, they didn't beat him. He's gonna be around for a while. I hope he gives them a really hard time. And then I was kind of disappointed, because from episode 38 to 42, he just sits there. He's on the Vader clan ship, he's just sitting there, he's eating, he's drinking, he's sleeping, and everybody hates him, and the general is just really pissed off that he's there at all. And he's constantly trying to make brand new monsters, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make this new one that's gonna wipe out the Denjiman, and then you'll see, you're not all that tough, you're not bad, you're nothing! And all Banriki does is just kind of sit back and laugh every time the Vader clan fails, and he's not doing anything. So right now I'm kind of disappointed, but there's only 10 episodes left of this series, and I'm sure that he's going to eventually be awesome. Maybe? I hope so. Otherwise, some of the monsters are kind of catchy, but they otherwise weren't really all that exciting. Noranekolar, for example, is a stray cat. Yay, a stray cat monster. Or Jishinlar causes earthquakes. Jishin means earthquake, so they were trying to wipe Denshi land off the face of the earth and hopefully take all the the Denjiman out immediately right along with it, and that didn't work. Picadilar was a boxer, and really you don't even see that monster until almost the end of the episode. And by that point, you know, he's wearing a hood over his face the entire time, and he's a boxer, and it's cool, but you know, you don't see that monster until the very end, and it's kind of disappointing. But there was one monster that I personally thought was at all noteworthy, and it's not necessarily for great reasons, although it's kind of funny. There's this monster, Akumalar, and some of you might know the word or the name Akuma, like, for example, the name Akuma in Street Fighter, which means demon or devil or something like that, and sure enough, I would say this looks pretty demonic, pretty devilish, because the monster has this very goat-like satanic kind of head, and he's handing out these crosses, these crucifixes on a necklace with a satanic goat-like head at the top of it. And these people then use these crosses to get things they want, or get revenge on people, or do things because they're jealous or something. Like, for example, there's this dude sitting in his car, right? And he's parked, and he's looking out at, like, a lake or something, and there's this cute couple, this man and this woman, out in a boat, rowing, and he just looks at them. He looks at his Satan cross, and he looks back at them, and he's like really upset, and he holds the cross out, and then they're like, "Oh no, our boat is flipping over, help, we're drowning!" And the guy looks back at his cross like, "Oh my god, I guess I just did that." Or really kind of circles around this girl who has a sister who's dating the guy that she wishes she was dating, so she's jealous of her sister, and then she ends up with this Satan crucifix on a necklace, and then decides, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna cause my sister and her boyfriend to get into a car accident, and sure enough, she uses this crucifix to get her sister really heavily injured and, like, into a coma, and you watch as she and some other people go into this satanic ritual where they got, like, candles, and they're drinking some nondescript brainwashing thing. Like, for the most part, this is a pretty safe and tame TV series, but if you're trying to convince any parents, no, it's cool, let your kids watch this particular series, they're not gonna have any troubles with it. Well, be careful that you don't show them this episode as an example that it's okay to show kids this Japanese raw series, because for the most part that's not gonna fly, not in North America anyway, for most families. Like, I think it's kind of funny personally, because it's absolutely ridiculous, but, yeah, most parents are probably not going to be okay with that. Like I said, there's only 10 episodes left of this series. I'm sure we're finally coming to a head of, everything that's going on. Banriki will eventually, I'm sure, be a viable threat again. He was a viable threat when he first showed up. I'm excited to see where he goes, so long as he doesn't continue to just sit there and eat, sleep, and drink. And so we've only got 2 more videos left in this series, and then we're going into Sun Vulcan, which I'm really, really excited about too. So please be sticking around and watching for that. I hope to see you guys along with me, seeing this out all the way to the end of the series. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, as always, to the Patreon contributors over at patreon.com/MarsGirl. You guys make this show and so many other shows like this happen. If you're at all interested in getting a request review, I'm not doing any request reviews right now. I've got none lined up. But you can get one for yourself if you want me to review some piece of media, a TV show, a movie, a video game. Go to patreon.com/MarsGirl, let me know. I would love to see something it is you're excited about, and I would love to share that with other people. Thank you so much, everybody. I'll be seeing you guys next time.